So you've got this incredible game story brewing in your head, right? But the thought of actually coding it all, well, it can feel pretty intimidating. Today, we're going to dig into a tool called Dialogue Designer, which was built for that exact problem, to let storytellers create amazing, complex games without having to write a single line of code.
You know, almost every great storyteller who wants to make a game eventually hits the same wall. It's this technical divide. Let's talk about that big initial roadblock.
Sound familiar? You've got these awesome characters, a plot full of twists, branching conversations. It's all perfectly clear in your mind. But the second you try to put that web of choices and consequences into a game engine, you just stop. That technical barrier is a real project killer for so many creative people. Well, it's that exact gap that Dialogue Designer was made to fill. It was literally designed from the ground up to be a visual, code-free solution. The whole idea is so you can focus on building the narrative you've imagined without needing to become a programmer first. So what is it exactly? Well, at its heart, Dialogue Designer is a special editor made just for branching dialogue. It's totally tailor-made for those story-heavy games like RPGs and visual novels, where, let's be honest, the narrative is king.
And the real power here is in all the things you can do. You're not just writing text. You're visually piecing together nonlinear stories, you're designing whole cutscenes, and you're even controlling how the story unfolds using variables. You can keep everything organized in databases, and this is the really crucial part, export it all into one simple, clean file.
And listen, for all the indie developers out there, this is a huge deal. It's a one-time purchase. You pay for it once, and it's yours forever. That includes all the future updates, too. No subscriptions, no hidden costs, just one and done.
Okay, so we know what it is. But how do you actually use it? How do you go from a totally blank canvas to a complex, branching story? Let's break down how you actually design with it.
The whole system is built around this really simple but powerful idea called the node. The easiest way to think of a node is like a single Lego brick for your story. Each visual block you place represents one specific action happening. And this is where the flexibility really shines. You could use a show message node for a line of dialogue, then connect it to a condition node that checks if the player has a certain item, and from there, the story could split into two different paths. You could even use a set variable node to remember a choice the player made, something that could come back to haunt them chapters later. You're basically creating a visual flowchart for your entire narrative. It's awesome. And beyond just the nodes, you get this whole toolkit to work with. The databases are super useful for keeping all your characters and variables straight, like player health or story flags. Plus, the fact that it supports multiple languages and runs really fast on pretty much any computer makes it a super practical tool for projects of any size. All right, this brings us to probably the most important question of all. You've just spent all this time designing an incredible branching story inside Dialogue Designer. Now what? How do you actually get that story into your game? The answer is surprisingly simple, and it's all thanks to one universally understood format. The entire story you create gets exported as a single JSON file. And that's the key to its power, because almost every game engine out there knows how to read JSON. Now, don't get hung up on the term JSON. Seriously, it's just a simple text file. It organizes your data really cleanly with things like character, Sarah, or dialogue, we have to go. And because it's so simple, it's incredibly easy for any game engine to just pull that data in and use it. And because of that simple JSON export, it's compatible with basically any engine you can think of. I'm talking about the big names like Unity and Unreal, but also indie favorites like Godot and GameMaker. Whatever you're building with, Dialogue Designer can probably talk to it. So the tech is solid. That's clear. But the real test of any tool is what the people who are actually in the trenches using it every day think about it. So let's take a look at some feedback from the community. This first review just sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? It gets right to the heart of what this software is all about. Empowering creative people who are storytellers first. People who don't want their process blocked by having to learn how to code. And check this out, because this review shows it's not just for beginners. The fact that you can add your own custom fields means that more advanced users can tweak it for their exact needs. Like, in this case, linking specific audio files directly to a line of dialogue. That shows a really deep level of flexibility. So if this is sounding like something you want to try, you can find it on Steam. And what's really great is you can basically give it a risk-free demo. Because of Steam's refund policy, you can buy it, try it for under 2 hours, and if it's not the right fit for you, you can get a full refund. It's a great way to check it out.
Okay, let's bring this all home. When you really look at what this tool is doing, it's about way more than just features and nodes. It's about removing one of the most fundamental barriers to creating a game.
So here's the bottom line. By handling all the complex logic of a branching story in a visual, intuitive way, Dialogue Designer lets writers and designers put all of their energy back where it belongs, on the story itself, on the characters, the choices, and the emotional journey.
And that just leaves us with one final and, I think, really exciting question. For all you storytellers listening, if that roadblock of code was just gone, what kind of amazing, interactive, non-linear world would you create? What story are you now finally free to tell?